Welcome everyone to Blogging It Up. My name is Robert and this is my DVD update for October 10th, 2008. And once a month I'll be discussing each DVD I bought over the month. At some point down in the comment section I should do like a mini review of each DVD and give my overall thoughts. I think it'll be very educational. If you're hearing rain in the background right now, this country has been ignorant. It's been raining for last week and I should redeem it by sharing my thoughts on my DVD collection. I wanted to do this DVD update earlier on during the week, but I've had a sinus infection for the past week now. I still have a small bit. I still feel a bit sick, but I'm going to go ahead and do this DVD update because it needs to be done. Okay, so the first movie I'll be looking at is Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. This movie is fucking hilarious. It's more ridiculous than the first one. In the first movie they poked so much fun at racism, and they do again in this movie. And there's actually not as much weed jokes as the first one. There is a lot, but not as... The first one really revolved around weed jokes, but this one kind of broadens itself a bit more. And these characters do become more mature, and you find out why Kumar is the way he is. That's slob, pot-smoking, lazy guy. And it's a nice... And Neil Patrick Harris returns. The scene where he's on the unicorn is just... That scene alone is worth picking up this DVD. The second movie I'll be looking at is Requiem of a Dream. Requiem of a Dream, for me, was an okay movie. It's one of those movies I think you either love it or hate it. I didn't quite hate it, but it wasn't the movie I wanted. I was disappointed. The score in it is one of the most powerful scores there is. It's almost used in every trailer, and it really adds to this movie. You could have Jared Leto staring at a white wall for 2 hours and you could have that score playing over him, and it'd really make a difference. And that's the best thing to come out of this movie, was the score. I enjoyed stuff with Jared Leto's mother in it, where she's popping the pills watching TV. I thought that was powerful stuff. I didn't really enjoy the stuff beyond that. Is Child's Play. This movie is fucking awesome. It's coming up to Halloween. You gotta get this movie. If you've only seen The Bride of Chucky and The Seed of Chucky, and you're like, and you know, with Seed and Bride of Chucky, it's mostly comedy. It's poking fun at itself. With this movie, it doesn't do that. It's really creepy. It's got amazing atmosphere. If you have a fear of dolls, then you will be creeped out by this movie. I don't have a fear of dolls, so I kind of found it kind of cute in a way, because there are some hilarious scenes with Chucky. But it's a good movie, and you should definitely pick it up for Halloween. Next movie is Slacker. Slacker has a great concept. Basically, let's take for example myself. If I'm walking down the street, something happens to me, and you walk past me, the story will continue on from me to you, and then from you to someone else. So it's about... How long is that? It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's a bit long, but it's an interesting concept. The one weakness to this movie is the concept itself, where it's like there'll be one character in one story and it'll be really interesting and you'll get invested in that story, and then it'll move on to another person who's not really interesting, and you're kind of like, I wish it stayed focused on that one person back there. You could have made a whole movie on some of the characters in this movie. What's interesting, I don't know if I'd rent it first, and if you do enjoy it, then pick it up, buy it. It is a cult movie. I picked it up solely because this movie inspired Kevin Smith to make Clerks, and so that was the bait for me, and it was all right. Like I said, rent it first before buying it. There's not much to say. It's been about 2 weeks since I watched it. 2-3 weeks. Sean Bean is awesome. You have to like the Bean. But there's some ridiculous scenarios. Like there's a scene where Sean Bean is in the car and there's a helicopter and he has a handgun and he shoots the helicopter down with the handgun. I thought scenes like that were just ridiculous and stupid. Sophia Bush was just terrible. The other guy, actually the guy who was her boyfriend in it was pretty good. He had a cool death scene. Spoiler. It's probably worth a rent. To be honest, I didn't buy that DVD. I just stole it off my sister.
Can't you see he's the man? Let me hear you applaud. He is more than a man. He's a shiny golden god. If you think it's time to fucking rock and fucking roll.
Next is Tenacious D, A Pick of Destiny. I really like Tenacious D. I went to their concert like 2 months ago. I have a whole video about it. But I was kind of disappointed with this movie. I mean, it was good. A few scenes were funny. This is Tenacious D's debut movie. They should have played the classic songs, but they didn't. They just played all the new stuff that I wasn't really familiar with. And that was really, really, really disappointing for me. But it's worth a watch. Again, probably a rental before buying. But it's really cheap these days, so you'll probably pick it up cheaper than renting it out. The next is the Rocky box set. These are some amazing movies. The first one is about Rocky. He's a downbeat guy. Nothing going for him except for boxing, and he's not really dedicated that much to boxing. You know, Mickey splashes some reality in Rocky's face and says, Rocky, you need to shape up, you need to dedicate yourself to facing Apollo Creed. And it's just a great story of rising to the top. The second movie takes place right after the first movie, and it's a pretty solid movie as well. The third movie is ridiculous, but it's one of those movies where you wouldn't, if you're with friends, you wouldn't watch any of the other Rockies. You just slap on Rocky 3 because it's so ridiculous. Mr. T jive talking to Rocky. There's a scene with Hulk Hogan being the crap out police officers, being the crap out Rocky as Thunder Lips. It's ridiculous and fun, and it's just a great movie to laugh at with your friends. I haven't seen Rocky 4, but I'm guessing it absolutely looks ridiculous. Rocky 5, I haven't seen in a couple of years, but I've heard it's not great. I remember liking it when I did see it. I was about 10 years old. And Rocky Balboa, which I saw last year, I think it was last year, is a fantastic movie. It brings you back to the first movie, where it's not ridiculous anymore. It's gone serious again. It's Rocky back in the training phase. These movies are fantastic to have. Definitely pick up this box set. Rocky's a fantastic character. He kind of reminds me of Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the way he has this tough exterior, but deep down inside, you know he's just a soft puppy. So definitely pick this up. The next movie is The Howling. There's not many great werewolf movies out there. My favourite is American Werewolf in London. It's fantastic. It has one of the best transformation scenes ever in a werewolf movie. I hate werewolf movies of late, like Van Helsing, where you have the human changing into werewolf in a matter of seconds. But a werewolf transformation should be very slow, very painful. All your bones should be cracking and shape-shifting. And American Werewolf is great at doing that. And so is The Howling. There are some fantastic transformation scenes. It's not a great movie storyline-wise. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but the werewolf transformation scenes sold me on this movie.
I'll kill you and your dreams tonight.
movie is Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is a movie recommended to me by a few people, a few of my friends. I didn't really want to see it because I didn't like Jodie Foster, and watching this movie, she was a distraction. She annoyed me. I don't know what it is about her. I can't explain it. Like, you know yourself, you have these actors or actresses you just can't stand. She's one of them. I thought Anthony Hopkins was amazing. He made that movie for me. Every scene with him was enjoyable as Hannibal Lecter. I liked the scene with Buffalo Bill putting his penis between his legs and dancing to Goodbye Horses. That was hilarious. Besides that, I enjoyed stuff with Jodie Foster prancing around, trying to find clues and whatnot. If you do like Jodie Foster, you'll definitely love this movie. I didn't, so I didn't enjoy it too much. If there's any films you'd recommend for me, post them in the comment section below. I'll tell you in the next update, which is November 10th, if I've seen that movie or not, if I have on DVD. If I haven't, I will try to get around to watching that DVD recommended for me. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, and gals.